Well, hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine. We got some things to deal with out in the tropics. Of course, we have Hurricane Aaron, which grew into a monster over the weekend, and one point was all the way up to Category 5 strength. At Category 4 here on our Monday morning. And there's also another system kind of right behind Aaron that may very well develop in the long range too, but we got some time to watch down. But look at you can see the orange bubble right behind Aaron, so kind of coming up in the similar path. Here's what we're looking at with Aaron. Boy, what an impressive looking storm it has been through the weekend and now into our Monday. It's been showing a clear eye for a good bit. It does seem to be closing up his eye a little bit. They powerful hurricanes do what we call eye wall replacement cycles, where the eye kind of folds in on itself and kind of has to reform. And it's a process that usually takes about 8 to 10 hours. So we'll probably be seeing that as it goes through the day to day. It does tend to storms weaken when that happens. So hopefully this thing will weaken a little bit. 130 mile per hour winds. You notice it's really kind of knocking on the doors of the Turks and Caicos. But fortunately for them and for everybody else, it looks like the center of the storm is going to stay away from any landmass. Now, that said, this is a huge storm, a very powerful storm. There will definitely be other impacts, sort of the indirect impacts. So even though we're not going to get a landfall in the Bahamas, we're not going to get a landfall in the U.S., we're not going to get a landfall in Bermuda directly, those areas will all see impacts, particularly, rip currents and surge and all those other kind of issues along the beaches, and certainly strong winds as the storm moves up into the north. So it's not a completely benign storm, but that's a lot better than it could be. I mean, you could imagine if it was going, more of a northwesterly direction and plowed into the Bahamas and to Florida, it would be obviously a major ordeal, but it's not going to do that. So that's the good news. It's going to head out to sea eventually here before too long. Now, right behind it is yet another system. You can see it here. It's kind of interesting to see. There's a couple different areas where you can see some up here where there's some storminess, and then there's another blob down here. This one pretty low. Usually if they're that low, they don't develop. So I'm thinking that the wave here will probably redevelop a little farther to the north, and it'll kind of follow a very similar track to Aaron. Now, in the long range, the models do all kinds of wacky things with that because they're models, and beyond 6-7 days, they're kind of useless for figuring out where these things are going to go. Kind of. I mean, they do give us some ideas of things, but you have to be very careful with them. And you see them post on social media. Oh, look, there's going to be a hurricane in the Gulf next weekend. Could that be right? Sure. More likely scenario is that it's wrong because there's a lot of other things the thing could do, and in particular one, it could just kind of follow the same glide path that Aaron is. I mean, the steering currents will be similar, so that's my guess at the moment. But at the moment, anything beyond about where I have these arrows is a guess. Okay, it's going to go towards the north. It's going to go up here, and it's going to end up somewhere in that circle. I know it's not a very bright circle; it's kind of hard to see. It's going to end up somewhere in that circle. That I can tell you. Now, exactly where does it go on from there? I can't tell you. Neither can anybody else. Nobody knows for sure, because that's 6 days away to get to that circle. I just circled there off the Caribbean. So we got days to watch it. We'll keep an eye on it. Now, keep in mind, like I said, I don't think this one ends up in the Gulf, but it could, right? Anything can happen with these storms that long out. And if it were to, are you ready? Think about that. Are you ready right now? Because if you're not, hey, you've got plenty of time, even if this one is coming at us, right? You have plenty of time to get ready. So make sure you're ready regardless. Eventually something will threaten the Gulf. It's probably not going to be this one out there. Something, though, eventually will threaten the Gulf. So just keep that in mind and make sure you're ready for it. Meanwhile, for us back home, we're just dealing with the heat. I mean, it has been oppressively hot. I had soccer games for my youngest son on Saturday at the soccer fields in Foley. It was miserable. I've been to some hot ones before, but it was just about as bad as I've ever had to experience. Of course, I wasn't the one playing soccer. I was sitting under a canopy the whole time, an umbrella or a tent. But even so, I could still feel it. It was not fun. I was drained the whole rest of the weekend because you sit out in the heat all day. It just sort of wrecks you as far as your stamina and your energy. So not fun at all. That's just the way it is, though, in August. Unfortunately, August brings the heat, and there's really little chance to escape from it. Here's the futurecast. Usually, one way to escape from the heat is to have a few showers around. Not going to be very many today. It's 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock you see just a couple here and there. So we're only going to go with the isolated chance today, 20-30%. And it's just going to be another smoking hot day. Temperatures well up into the 90s out there this afternoon. So mid-90s is what we're looking at in many areas today, and only a very small chance of an isolated shower or storm to break things up. This evening, it'll be okay. Mild, muggy temperatures in the 80s there. Here's your long-range forecast. There's the 5-day. I'm going to skip up to the 7-day. Then I'm going to get my head out the way so you can see what's going on, if I can get this thing to work right. There we go. Here's the long-range forecast. You notice the next several days, Tuesday and Wednesday, are going to be very hot again, mid-90s. Okay, so more mid-90s on the board. It does improve later in the week. We'll actually have our little front moving on down, and that'll help out with the temperatures slightly. I mean, this is an August front, not an October front. Okay, there is no fall air with this. But it does dial back the heat, and we'll have some rain chances as well towards the end of the week, going in the weekend, scattered showers and storms. So that'll help us out too. So, in August, that's about the best we're going to do, right? We're just going to dial back things a little bit, get a little more rain around, and that'll help us out. But until then, stifling heat. Just do your best, stay hydrated, stay cool, and it's August. We just got to get through it, folks. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 10. We'll catch up with you soon. Bye now.